New COVID-19 vaccines rolling out now nationwide.
All right, joining us now today, Dr. Abby from Chartres-Steele to talk more about who should get this updated vaccine. There's so many questions. Parents are asking, adults are asking. So what is new about these vaccines? And they're available now?
Yes, they are. So essentially what the CDC has recommended is that everyone 6 months of age and older get this vaccine. And the difference essentially is that it does not have the original strain that is now obsolete. It has only factored in the XBB strain, which is a variant it's essentially a subvariant of the original Omicron strain. And so it's updated to reflect the fact that there are newer variants around and to cover for those and protect for those.
But I'd like to just point out, you said vaccine and get the vaccine and then get the vaccine. And not one time in that sentence you said get boosted.
Yes,
why?
Absolutely, because they're sort of, realizing that this is a different vaccine and it's not necessarily meeting the definition of a booster strictly, because this is a different vaccine. And so we may see that we start to get the vaccines once a year, maybe even twice a year. And so that's the way to think about this, is that this is something that's going to be around for a while. And just like the flu vaccine, which we don't call a booster, this may be what we see as the new normal, is that we need to protect ourselves on a yearly basis.
And I think we had talked about that before, that moving forward, this is going to be a yearly thing, an annual shot. Remember we would ask, do we have to take this forever, an annual shot? And that's, if someone just got the old vaccine, let's say within the last month, 2 months, 3 months, do you not get this one that takes care of the new variants, or do you still take this one 2-3 months after you got the last one, or how do you know?
Yes, absolutely. So this is now the most updated one. So it's certainly, if you just had the most recent one, it's reasonable to wait maybe a few months before getting this one, but you should plan to get this one. This is what they're recommending. Okay. In someone who's had COVID already, they're actually saying, yes, you can wait in that 3-month range before getting this one, because there's still some amount of protection, but vaccination is still going to be the best protection overall. And so the CDC did consider this question, right? Whether or not they should recommend it only for those people that are high risk in that 65 to older range. And it is true that we're at a different level of risk now, right? That is true. We're not at the same place that we were before. But they looked at hospitalizations over the next several years, even in people that are lower risk, even in that age range, very young children, and they saw that there will be a protection. It's better to recommend this broadly for everyone versus just that select group. And so that is something that they considered, and that's why they made the recommendation.
You just said children. There's a lot of back and forth about whether kids should get this. So do children need to be vaccinated if they're not getting ill?
Absolutely. So one thing is that children are getting ill, right? So children are still getting ill and are still at risk. It's true that they're not as at risk as that really older population, people that are immunocompromised, but we do see that it does happen. And so that's what they're saying, is that it is important to protect them because there's still a risk. The risk is not zero when it comes to children. And then again, long COVID is also something to consider. We do see long COVID, even if in people that have mild cases. So that's why they make this recommendation.
But can I rephrase that? Because when I say not get ill, I think the argument that I hear from a lot of people is that if they're not going to get really sick, our kids, they're back in school. I can't even tell you in like 2 minutes how sick everybody just gets from germs. So if they're not going to get really sick, then why would they need to be vaccinated for this?
Well, it's possible that they may get really sick. And the best way to look at it is from a risk-benefit perspective, right? When we look at the side effects of vaccines overall, including the flu shot, which we recommend, right? Yes, there's a low risk of a child who's totally healthy of ending up in the hospital, but because the side effects of the vaccines are minimal and there's still that protection in case they do, and again, protection against long COVID, which is an issue, then that's the recommendation that's made. For example, as an analogy, traveling on a plane is one of the safest modes of transportation, right? The chances of you getting a plane crash, very minimal. Do they still make you wear a seatbelt? Do they take off if people are not wearing their seatbelts? They don't, because the benefits of wearing it are protective, because there is still a risk. It's not zero. And that's the way we look at it. We make many decisions in our lives on a day-to-day basis that we are protecting ourselves, that involves us protecting ourselves, even even though the risk might be lower. And that's the way to look at this. Just like the flu shot, it's a recommendation that is being made.
Before we let you go, I wanted you to address the fact that, Shali kind of touched on this. There's a lot of, I don't know if pushback is the right term, but there's pushback or there's questions about do I get it or not get it from the people who were not questioning this 6 months to a year ago. People are like, I'm all in. I will take my shot. I will take my booster. I will take my second booster. And now those people are like, How do you combat that if doctors are saying we should have this shot?
Well, the important thing is that we should let people understand that, yes, there is a risk stratification. We should be honest. The messaging is not as easy, right? And that is something that we should acknowledge. Everyone has a different level of risk. But again, looking at it as a risk benefit, we know that the side effects are minimal and we know that the vaccine is safe and you are still going to get that protection. I think we should emphasize that it is doubly important for people who are at higher risk in that 65 age range and older, people that may be immunocompromised. We should emphasize that they should get vaccinated because they are not getting vaccinated. They're not getting updated. It's a very small percentage in terms of what we want to see, even in that age range. So I do think it's a difficult messaging, but it's important to realize that it is still a safe vaccine and you can choose to protect yourself.
All right, Dr. Abby, a lot to obviously talk about. We appreciate the time this morning. Thank you so much.
Good to see you.
Thank you.